turn it off and turn it back on. Keeping my shoulders back. It was a suggestion I saw for preventing panic, anxiety. IDK what it is. But when your shoulders are in that position, it gives some strange feeling of control. I also read somewhere that during panic attacks the body basically wants to curl into fetal position for protection. So I feel like focusing on keeping your arms down and shoulders back is a conscious way to go against that and stay grounded in reality. Works for me. Could work for you too. My dad always told me, ask anyway. The worst they can say is no, when buying something or when I needed something from another person. Seemed stupid to ask if I was sure they would say no, but I was also a socially anxious kid. Turns out that advice has helped me with school, with raises, with people in general, with plans with new friends. There's what you need, there's what you want, and there's what you can't afford. My dad says this all the time. And I never thought of it as useless, I just never used it. Now I have, and my money is far easier to manage. My grandfather told me this and I never understood it until I had my own place. Always buy the cheap tools at first, and if you wear it out, break it, then you use it enough to justify getting a nicer, more expensive one. That forest app. It grows a tree for up to 2 hours, and during that time, you can't access any apps you think will distract you. If you want to open a distracting app, you'd have to kill your tree. All your trees, dead or alive, appear in a little forest. I have always had trouble motivating myself to focus on homework and not look at Reddit, YouTube. But this app is just enough guilt to not open Themosphere. I haven't killed anything yet, and I'm surprised at how much I can care about a small virtual tree. People told me about it and I just completely assumed that I'd never use it or it wouldn't work for me, considering how distractible I am. But it works wonders. Your gums bleed when you floss because you don't floss enough. Turns out if you floss enough, your gums won't be inflamed, so they don't bleed when you floss. Putting cold water on freshly shaved skin will make it so you don't get ingrown hairs. Some of the best advice I've ever received. Directly expressing my needs instead of hinting. If you can tell that someone is going to hit you, tilt your head down. Teeth don't grow back. Your jaw is lights out. If they punch the top of your skull, they will probably break their hand. Always be drunk. Don't suffer future pain. In other words, worrying about all the stuff that could happen stops you from doing things, and worse, turns potential pain into actual worry and mental pain. Spend an extra $5 to $10 on wiper blades. Compliment people behind their backs. Sounds stupid but works wonders. As someone with a phobia of needles my entire life, I finally, 30 years in, had a nurse tell me to ask for a spare alcohol pad and sniff it right as I'm about to get jabbed. She said the harsh smell is enough of a distraction to keep your mind off the needle. I was there for a flu shot, so I got to try it out right away. I wasn't expecting much, but it worked. I've been doing it ever since, and have no trouble with shots or blood draws now, which is huge for someone they've triggered panic attacks and you're fainting in. Before, edit. Thank you for the silver. Hoping this helps everyone as much as it helped me. Explain it to the nurse who's doing your shot, blood draw, too. I always do, in hopes that they'll remember and use it next time they have someone who struggles with needles, and pass the knowledge along. Fans on my old MacBook died. Saw a YouTube video that said to simply take your fist and bang on the part of the computer that housed the fans, thinking it was a troll. I gave it a shot out of pure frustration, and lo and behold, they purred back to life, and I never had another issue with them for the rest of the time that I owned that computer. If you have a clogged nose, doing 8 to 10 push-ups will temporarily clear it up. Edit. Hey, thanks for the silver and the gold. Cleaning your house before leaving for more than 5 days. Nothing is better than coming to a clean house. Life is really much easier if you clean your workplace. Roommature. I clean my room often and it makes me feel calm and clears my head. Pay bills, save, then spend. Unclench your jaw, open your hands, drop your shoulders, and breathe in. For gamers, play games that have a beneficial AFK element in-game. Then whenever you need to do some AFK stuff, spend the time it takes cleaning your house. Started playing Black Desert Online on Xbox. My house has never been cleaner and I'm doing it so regularly that it's becoming a habit, and when I'm all caught up I nap. It's like I tricked myself into taking care of me and my place with games. Easily the best life change I've made this year. I'm productive in-game, at home, and I'm well rested. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. One day at a time. It's been helping me stay focused in the now. Not taking your cell phone into bed with you. After a while you will sleep much easier without the distraction and blue light shining straight into your eyes before bed. 4. Stick to the same sleep schedule on your days off that you follow on days when you have to be somewhere at a specific time, like school or work days. I spent my whole life sleeping until noon on weekends, thinking I was storing sleep in some imaginary sleep bank. I recently started waking up early on weekends, and now I don't have trouble waking up when my alarm goes off during the week. Plus I have all this extra time to do stuff because I'm not sleeping all day. You're not hungry, you're thirsty. And #X200B. I would eat a big meal and wonder why I still felt hungry. It is because I wasn't drinking a glass of water with my meal. Now if I notice I am hungry after eating normal portions, I have a glass of water and wait 5 minutes before I continue eating. Once begun is half done. I am a terrible procrastinator by nature. I have totally done it well now at 5:02, so I have to wait until 6 o'clock to start cleaning, and I like making things seem like so much work that I can't possibly do them unless I take time off of work. In reality, if you just start a project without thinking about it, you can get everything done in like 15 minutes a day, and it's never really that bad. Try killing roaches with soapy water in a spray bottle. It sounds useless, but it works better than any insecticide I've ever tried. And it's non-toxic and really easy to clean up. Go to the bathroom first thing after having sex. Give up caffeine to help with anxiety. I gave it up to help with my vertigo years after this was first suggested to me. But it did help. I'm still anxious as fluff, but I'm not reacting to it like a hummingbird on cocaine anymore. It's better to lose a second of your life than to lose your life in a second. People on the road need to just slow down a little. It'll save your life. Edit. Thank you for the silvers and gold, kind strangers. Never take I-90 through Chicago, my sister said to me in 2002. Yeah, okay, thanks was my reply, and #X200B. In 2004, just over the border of Wisconsin, we stopped for gas. We were on day 3 of our drive back from Yellowstone and had been on the road for almost 2 weeks. In total, funds were low. There was nothing left for another hotel that night. It was 11 a.m. Our calculations, pre-GPS, had us home at about 1 a.m. We looked at the map, saw the upcoming highway split, and were debating between heading straight for I-80 or staying on I-90. Well, the last sign said 90 minutes to Chicago. May as well have a deep dish pizza for lunch. Plus, it looks like a more direct route, and #X200B. Mistakes were made. At 3 p.m., we had admitted defeat. There would be no lunch. The infinite traffic wouldn't allow for it. By 4 p.m., my will was broken. I pulled the brake, opened my door, and walked from the middle lane to the ditch just after a bridge to relieve the pressure in my bladder. Shortly after, we would say, "Fluff this. Let's just get off here." That too was a mistake. The signs were in Spanish. The route back to the highway eluded us. We weren't even sure what time zone we were in. We asked a guy at the corner at a red light, "Hey man, what time is it?" Single quote. I'll never forget his response. "Your mother," and #X200B. At 6:30 p.m. we finally drove past what is now Guaranteed Rate Park. fully immersed in Chicago rush hour. An hour later we crossed into Indiana. Broken people. We had an utterly forgettable pizza, got back in the road, and endured a drive home that lasted well past dawn, and #X200B. I told you to never take I-90 through Chicago, my sister said to me when I told her our tale of that day. She was right. I should have remembered that. Practice gratitude. Grateful people are happy people. If you feel like quitting, then just tell yourself that the story doesn't end this way. Sounds cliche, but you decide when your story ends when you stop trying. You may fail, but you will not fail today. Don't let the story end this way.